Well, hello again, everyone. I am Gary Godsoe, and welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of Round 13 of Season 12 of the VOR Signature Series, the IndyCar Championship. As today we come to you from Belle Isle for the Detroit Grand Prix. Joining me in the booth, doing double duty with me this weekend, is Kyle Klindworth, as Ryan Eric King is on assignment. He's in Abu Dhabi for the Formula One race. Talk about being jealous. We're stuck here doing virtual races at Detroit road courses, and he's over on the other side of the world, probably dining and styling and profiling and everything else that Ric Flair does over in the Middle East. But nevertheless, it's always good to have Clindy here. Clindy, welcome to Belle Isle. I know turning left and right is not your specialty, but you know what? We've done these races before, and you always seem to be pretty nail on or head on the nail on the head. That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody's strategies, and talk about what you've seen so far. As we're in the middle of qualifying right now with Group 1.
Yeah, the track looks very slick. A lot of drivers seem to be getting caught off guard with the lack of grip. Just as I say that, Giulio Altella went to the board, top of the board. He had struggled to put down a lap the entire session, and then just pulled out the fastest one that was ran all day. So, I mean, when you have the setup in your back pocket and you have the most time on it, sometimes that's possible. But if any one little thing is different, that changes every corner, every apex, every part of the track, right? So those little differences really make a huge difference when you all put them together. And strategy is the thing I'm best at these left and rights. I'm really slow, so I have to figure out how to finish well by using my slowness to my advantage. I often do endurance races with my teammates at Rogue Racing, and oftentimes I'll be able to go to 3 or 4 laps further on fuel than Ryan Campbell just because I'm not going fast. So I'm the economy driver, and he is the pace driver. We got a couple of fast ones on the track here. Gary said a couple ones to watch here would be Griffin Yellen and Liam McNeely in the second round of qualifying. It'll be 7 minutes here.
And this is the second group. These are the second group is mainly made up of those lower end points and making their first starts of the season.
Luis Nunez back at it again. Yesterday had a fierce start in front. Michigan. Get his tires warmed up, ready to take a fiercely forward qualifying lap here, as you can read on his rear wing. And getting your tires up to temp is something that the drivers have been struggling with.
And look at the track temp. We'll bring back up the weather. I had the weather up just for the intro there, but 81 degrees track temperature. That's not very hot. Yeah, not very hot at all for a road course, street course here. This is a 2.35 mile, 14 turn temporary street course on the Isle of Belle Isle, in the middle of the body of water that separates Detroit from Windsor, Canada. And in some of these far-off shots, you'll see in the background downtown Detroit. You'll be able to see GM's headquarters. That's where the current Detroit Grand Prix course now runs in front of. I think a lot of us do not like that new course and the type of racing that it introduced into real-world IndyCar racing. The Belle Isle course has a lot of character to it, and a lot of people miss that. Whether or not we'll see IndyCar return here, we don't know. Probably not.
The GM executives really wanted to watch a race from their offices.
Jeez.
Right? So they put down 2 Martinsvilles with Monaco stapled to it right in front of their HQ. Luis Nunez top
to the top, yes.
Half a second faster than Altena. I thought he had something figured out on his outlap because he was pushing harder on cold tires than anyone else had to get them warm. He's doing another flying lap here. He's got a couple of rabbits in front of him to gauge his braking marks. He may even go faster yet.
Camera on him. There it is.
Ooh, This lap will not count. He just smacked his side pod against the concrete. Any contact with the wall, unlike in real IndyCar, invalidates your lap.
And he's going to reset. We'll put the camera on the Bucky's number 6 of Liam McNeely. We expect a good lap out of him, currently provisionally 4th. Silvazzi provisionally 2nd. Altena provisionally 3rd. O'Sullivan 5th.
Is that power slide coming out of the penultimate corner? That was insane. He's going to get a huge slipstream here. It may allow him to post a faster time. Yeah, 13 flat, 2nd on the board. What gusto, though. That was just putting the foot down and saying, I don't care what happens. I want to go forward in this qualifying session.
Here are the conditions coming into today's race that the drivers will face. And the most important thing about coming into today's race, the points. Jesper Orman is your points leader by 1 over Liam O'Sullivan. Jesper not in the lineup today. So Jesper, just by starting this race, will become the points leader. Or Liam, excuse me, will become the points leader just by starting this race. And he really, the big thing for Liam is getting through turn 1 and finishing let's call it an empty start for your chief rival, and getting in some points into this race. So you want to get past turn 1, you want to finish this race. And as the biggest thing for Liam, it will be as these are street corner. This is a street circuit, excuse me. And look how narrow it is. So getting through the first lap here is very critical.
So I mean, it really isn't that narrow. Right? It's actually 3 or 4 lanes wide, almost around this entire track. The problem is, in order to take the corners quickly, there's only 1, maybe 1.5 lanes of actual racing space anywhere around the track that's not a straightaway. And that's what makes these street courses so narrow, is that even though you have all of this room, it looks like, you could fit cars 3 wide technically. They don't go very fast if you're out by the barriers in the middle of the corner, right? You want to be out by the barriers on corner exit and on corner entrance to maximize your apexes. And that was a big issue with the Chicago street race in this car. Because in order to hit those apexes on iRacing, there were some really, really terrible bumps, worse than here at Belle Isle, and you felt like the car was skating on Lakeshore Drive. Now, this track is a little smoother than the Chicago street course. It's been more paved. You can see, I'm with Luis Nunez right now, but he just went down the front stretch after Corvette turn where the GM executive turned off the
Corvette corner, yes.
And nosed it right into the wall on the pace laps, but that's all repaved, right? That's all brand new pavement.
Yeah. And bring back the points one more time here on screen. Julian is 3rd in the points. Mark Murphy's 4th. Craig Forsyth's 5th. So everybody from 2nd on down is in the race today. With the 22 seconds now, 20 seconds left remaining before we go official in qualifying. The team's championship is Indy Alliance. IAR currently leads over Altena Autosport by 67, and Team Watson is a distant 3rd, 286 behind. So we're going to go down to the wire for the team championship, and we are going to go down to the wire probably for the top 4 in the championship. We'll see. Craig, it might be a little too far out in order to be in contention for the final race. We shall see how we do. Don't ever want to rule out Forsyth, though. He does have a knack of bringing the car home very safely. We have just completed qualifying, and we are going to do a little bit of a warm-up here, I think. And we'll get into today's starting lineup here at Florida Detroit Grand Prix.
Did you get any word from the IAR crew as to why Sebastian and Seb and Jesper aren't here today? Did Murph let you know?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
We'll definitely make next week interesting, that's for sure.
I think we're moving ahead to lining up for the race. That should not prevent us from getting in today's starting lineup, though, so we'll go ahead and do that. Here you go. McNeely sneaks in there at the very end and gets the pole position. A 1:12.7 versus Nunez's 1:12.8. Salvazzi, he's been fast all practice long and into qualifying. A 1:13.2. Julian struggled a bit in qualifying and practice, but brought home a 1:13.2. Now, can he be consistent enough in the race to bring this car home for a decent point-paying position? We shall see. We have 53 laps to see that tonight. O'Sullivan is in third, and Gallas with a great run. Hugo and the outside of row 4, or row 3. Back in row 4 is Lucas Lodano making his appearance in the series for the first time in a while. Alonzo Bonder back there in row 4 on the outside. Forsyth and Strauss back on row 5. Kinder and Yellen back in row 6. Christensen Molina, row 7. Murph and Robinson back in row 8. And Inch and Bennyworth. Bennyworth with the Q-band for this particular race, starting from the rear in row 9. I believe that is going to be our entire field. 18 cars today for 53 laps, just a little less than 125 miles.
I think we're going to see a lot of mid-pack action. Everyone from Liam O'Sullivan to Matthias Strauss, they were within 1/2 of a second, all 7 of those drivers, from 5th to 12th on the grid, effectively, all have pretty similar pace. So if any of them start putting elbows out or missing an apex, look for a chain reaction of pouncing, right? One driver will try to take advantage, they'll give up the racing line, and then the car behind them will be able to, take advantage of the racing line being available to them. It'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out here in the beginning of the race, and who tries to play it safe and who tries to go on the offensive.
I think there's going to be a little bit of everything on this first lap. I think we got some people that are going to be out there that are going to drive to survive, and I think there's going to be some other ones that are going to full send it in an effort to get their first win here, or another win in the VOR Series. The front row, no wins in the VOR Series. Salvazzi.
That's going to change today.
Yep.
Barring a mistake, one of those 2 drivers is going to bring home a W.
Salvazzi won earlier this season. Now
we will be doing
standing start.
Pace lap here.
Are we doing a standing start?
Julian messed up the session. They're going to do a manual pace lap, and the leader will count down the green.
But to say, this is not the FIS yet. we don't start the FIS until January 8th. It's okay. Setting up these races sometime.
Car won't start. He's have a Ben Quadraneros issue.
A Ben Quadraneros. Watching Forsyth. This is what Will Power happened to Will Power in real life, although he was looking at the win. Oh, and he's going to have to tow. Wow. And if you could find out anything more about that, Will, I'd like to report on it, see what happened.
Yeah, his ignition key was not working, so the car loaded in off and then did not turn on the grid. I think once the green flag drops, you're not allowed to use the starter from your starting spot. So I don't know if Craig turned the car off to save fuel, or if it loaded in and he sat there long enough that it turned off automatically to not blow up due to heat. But once he's finished his tow here, he's going to get caught up so long as the leaders don't finish their first lap. I think Liam is being instructed to back the field down, but now he's speeding up.
Now he's speeding up.
He was just going 45, then he went up to 60 or so. Okay, they're going to run another pace lap to accommodate Craig here.
This is going to impact fuel mileage.
Yep. And Craig is out of the pits on his way to catch up to the rear of the field. And they're going to allow him to go back to his original starting position.
Wow, that's very nice of him. Very sporting.
Well, considering the race did not start as it should have, I think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Field instructing Forsyth to go by on driver's left. Hopefully everyone got the message.
But
Craig
we
actually may
are
have a sizable advantage here.
we are kind of starting this thing under a virtual safety car. I'll go ahead and put up the caution graphic.
Craig's tires are going to be up to temp and no one else will. Craig
That's
may
true.
be able to make up 3 or 4 positions here on the first lap because his tires won't be cold. Or, you know, significantly less cold than everyone else.
Well, yeah, but he's going to have to come to pit road sooner than everyone else because he's on full burn right now. Or a more full burn. He could be down on 8 and have it mashed. Could have stopped on pit road if he wanted to and topped it off.
I don't think Julian would have let him have his starting position if he did that. Get nifty little graphics that tell you the last time people pit. So if you see a 2 on there, like, sorry, Craig, you're starting from the rear.
And here he is. We see him on the track map in the that blue dot there at the bottom of your screen. He is now caught back up to the field.
And Craig Forsyth has the pleasure and the distinction today of being the first car to pass Mark Murphy.
That's one.
I don't think there will be very many more. I think Mark's going to run right about where he qualified. Maybe sneak a few out with strategy. I would not be surprised to see Mark finish 10th. He says he's pretty bad at these bendy tracks, but, you know, he's just as bad as Clendy, so.
All right, we are getting in position here for the start of the Detroit Grand Prix here.
Different agendas at the front. Let's see how it all plays out.
Everyone tightly packed up. And there we go. We're underway for the next to last round of the championship. Liam McNeely getting the jump, everybody. Everybody through Corvette Corner, down the straight. Coming into the first big passing zone for turn 3.
Look at Forsyth on those hot tires to the inside. Hit it by Bonder. Let's see if he can get Gallas.
In through the carousel, I guess the carousel portion of this racetrack. Still watching Forsyth as he makes an attack now on Hugo Gallas. Show the standings on the tree. There you see push the pass for Savazzi. Trying to run down the gap between himself and Nunez. Meanwhile, out front, McNeely pulling away. Let's get you the intervals there. McNeely out a second and almost a second and a half on the first lap.
I can tell you what his strategy is right now. It's full push, full burn, start on the greens, end on the blacks. And yes, Murphy, the green tires are Wayulis.
Wayuli.
Don't know if anyone started on the black or primary tire. It looks like the entire field. Nope, Ben Bennyworth is on the primary. Every other driver is on the Waiuli. Sebastian Kinder did not take the green flag, for what it's worth.
I'm not sure that you said who didn't take the green flag? Seb Kinder?
Yep.
He was flashing a lot, and I think he might have had a DC. I'm not sure.
His power went out, according to Silvazzi.
Ouch. Ooh. Liam O'Sullivan into the turn 2 wall.
That's not good for him. His objective today is just to survive and get some points. The first lap went about as well as he could have imagined. You know, no contact, no drama. And it looks like he's doing it to himself. It does look like he has side pod damage on the right side of his car. However, you don't go very fast here, so it might not hurt him that badly.
Yeah, you don't want to do that at lap 5. Try to bring the thing home, though.
I would imagine this would be 3 stops of 14 or 13 laps every stint, unless you can somehow magically go 27 laps. With the first 2 laps being yellow, that might be in someone's playbook today, but I would assume every stint to be somewhere between 13 or 14 laps, unless somebody's going crazy hypermile and trying to get 27 laps done today. It's just to equalize those tires, even if you could go a little further on fuel. This track's not short. It's just a hair under 2.5 miles.
Yeah, it's 2.35. And here's Julian on the outside. We've been watching this battle develop. He's on push to pass, going to go to 4th around his teammate. And so move up with Julian, who's had the last couple of races have not gone his way. Move him up to 4th.
Wander's going to be attacking Gallas here down the front stretch. Didn't quite stick the run coming to the straightaway, but let's see what he does here, plunging through turns 1 and 2, and then into turn 3.
Yeah, Bonder got back around Forsyth. Forsyth's tires are going to wear out a little bit faster than everyone else's, especially on the Waiulis.
Yeah, he basically started with 1 extra lap of wear, which he did use to great effect on the first opening lap, getting by 1 car, but you got to pay those dues. Can't be all upside, right?
The advantage was short-lived.
Lodato also honing in on... Oh, no! Lodato went around!
Yeah, he did, and right around in front of Hugo. Under acceleration, nosed it into the wall.
No, you got to get around, Lucas. Okay.
We're right there and on the exit of 11. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! And another car into the wall right around him. Who was that? That was Molina. Oh, and another car into the wall. That was Yellen.
Lost his nose. Move Mark Murphy up 2 spots. Staying clean, living the dream.
Staying clean, living the dream. There you go.
Pennyworth here is going to capitalize on Molina. I think Molina has damage as well.
Yeah, Molina looking on the outside of Pennyworth. Probably not in the right.
Pennyworth is the one moving forward. Molina's the one going back. Molina's front wing on the right-hand side is scuffed up. I know that it doesn't affect pace a lot, but like I said, those little differences stack up. And with how cold it is here today, every bit of grip matters. So Murphy has now got Molina in his sights.
Hey, let's go back up to the front. Nunez has dug into McNeely's lead. He's now less than a second.
They posted nearly identical lap times that time by. They're both a fair bit faster than Silvazzi in third. I'm telling you, these two drivers need to work together. They say, hey, look, one of us is going to walk away with this win today. Let's not end it in heartbreak for us both, right? Neither of them have won in this series before, and they're making a statement today, qualifying on the front row and outpacing the rest of the field. So if they play it smart, I think they can lock up the first two steps of the podium and not let it go to a repeat winner behind them.
And Silvazzi on push to pass, trying to reel him in. Silvazzi won on the road course at Indianapolis for his first career win in the VOR Series earlier this season.
Nunez is hustling. He's got the car stepping out. I think he sees the lead and he wants it.
Nunez, part of a new squad that's being formed in the community, fiercely forward.
At 1.5 tenths faster than Liam McNeely there. He'll be close enough to push to pass plus draft on these next two straightaways and make up a substantial amount of time. Something that's new to these Indy cars this season, or I guess maybe since June or so, is the accurate or more accurate push to pass reading and application. So instead of only getting 10 uses all race long, you get 200 seconds that you can use whenever and however you'd like, as long as it's not the first lap. And considering the first lap of this race was under yellow, there was no restrictions whatsoever.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I believe if it was a real IndyCar race situation, I think there's a master switch or some sort of master controller that controls that. But you're right. Yeah, they could have gone push to pass right off the bat if they wanted to.
Yeah, that master controller, its name is Roger Penske, right? Bonder on the tailgate of Gallus here. Let's see if he can press
dives
the intimidate
in deep.
button.
Yeah, there on 11. Bonder, also a fellow broadcaster, broadcast commentator.
He's going to have a huge run here.
And he's going to go to the inside here at the start-finish line of Hugo.
And don't overdrive this one. Oh, Hugo lets him go.
Yeah, Hugo lets him go wisely.
Classy move. That'd be me. I'd say, oh, you got me.
Yeah, you got me. Yeah, you got me. Let's not do something stupid. We're only, what are we, 5 laps, 6 laps, 11 laps into this thing. Technically speaking, technically speaking, we're 9 laps into this thing. I think we started 2 laps. The first 2 laps were under a parade situation.
Yeah, we got a 51-lap event today. McNeely is now turned up the wick. They're both sliding through these corners. Oh, look at him. Off the exit of the corner, stepping out traffic, putting down tire tracks to keep Nunez behind.
Let's watch from Nunez's point of view.
Nunez had a very eventful day yesterday at Michigan. Back to front a few different times in the iconic DW12. Worth a watch. Probably my favorite stream we've ever done for that series yesterday. That race was incredible. I won't spoil the ending for you because it was dramatic.
Yeah, you can check that out on the VOR channel here when you're done watching us here at Belle Isle. Next week, final race of the season, championship Saturday for the VOR IndyCar Championship at Lost Wages at Las Vegas there, and it will be a special throwback livery themed race as drivers will get the chance to choose a throwback livery and work in their own sponsors to feature previous liveries of IndyCar champions.
And I will be in the field next Saturday, so you can root for me, your hometown hero, Clendy, on track. I really like what Nunez is doing. He's setting the corners up to maximize corner exit speed. It's not quite yet paid off because McNeely just has more pace and is really hustling the car. But one of these corners, he's going to exit better and have a draft, and he'll be right on the attenuator of McNeely.
Here we coming through Corvette corner, down out of 2 now, downhill just a little bit now, racing toward turn 3. Still over the shoulder of Nunez right now. Now, we are about 4 laps or so from the window opening for first pit stops, but we got to take into account that the first 2 laps of the race, or at least of the race count, were done under caution situations. So we are looking at probably closer to 19 to 20. The one that might be making their first stop early actually might be Craig Forsyth.
Yeah, he pushed harder on those parade laps, right, to get his spot back, whereas everyone else was putzing around at 35, 60 miles an hour. And I mean, if you can go 20 laps on this first run, right, that means there will be 31 laps to go, effectively. So it's just again, unless you can get to like 26 or 27, which I don't think anyone can, unless they've got a bag of tricks I don't know about. Smoky Unique fuel lines, right? So
currently showing Griffin Yellen still in the pits getting repairs done. Max Molina in the pits getting work done as well. They're 2 and 6 laps down respectively for Molina and Yellen.
Nice of McNeely and Nunez to keep the battle for the lead pretty close, considering everyone else is giving each other ample space.
Yeah, they got 6 seconds on Salvazzi. Wow, that's 6 seconds in almost no time flat. That's pretty amazing. These guys
That's
pace
basically half a second a lap.
Yeah, their pace is so much more than everyone else. This really is the closest battle on the racetrack, other than Dan Inch and Lodato. I think Lodato just got Inch, so he's kind of pulling him. But Lodato, that's who's in front of Inch now, though. That's Mike Wayne Robinson. He is sporting one wing plane. The left wing, front wing plane is gone, so he is trying to nurse home a one-wing angel at the moment to get to this first pit stop.
Honestly, I wish you could just say, I don't want to fix it. I'd rather take, the on-track time penalty rather than the 5 seconds in the pits. At the beginning of the race, it's an easier pill to swallow because you might make those 5 whole seconds up.
Yeah.
But losing a half a wing at a track like this is probably half a tenth a lap. Oh, no! A Dan Inch is in the wall. He just slugged it there. He's going to need a wing repair now, too. So I guess Lodato is kind of home free. Mike Wayne Robinson is home free to change that wing because...
No, but Lodato is kind of home free to get maybe a free position here with a wounded Inch in front of him.
Absolutely, and that'll make up for that spin he had earlier today. Well, one position of it anyway. Bit by bit.
Battle still at the front between Nunez and McNeely. McNeely, your leader in the Bucky's car.
You got a Bucky's car and a Bumblebee car up front.
Now, McNeely is from the UK, so I don't know how he knows about Bucky's.
It's like a cultural touchstone. Right?
It is, like, for sure.
I mean, how many Americans know about Tesco, right? It's like the same thing.
Or Nando's.
I think Nunez is... Well, we've got lap traffic ahead as well.
Yes, we do.
Impact this fight for the lead.
That is Dan Inch. As Lodato has gotten around Inch. In fact, there's a whole host of cars in front of these guys. They're all entering the carousel right now.
This is maybe when McNeely makes a decision. Do you pit now?
Whoa,
oh, no.
Whoa. and Dan's trying his best to stay out of everyone's way. It's just they got him at a bad spot. There are very few good spots here on this racetrack. Lodato around Michael Wayne Robinson. So he'll move Lodato up to 13th as he's trying to recover, as mentioned. Next attack for him will be Mark Murphy. Now here come the leaders and the wounded cars, more wounded cars, or at least wounded car.
I think Nunez is going to look to pounce here on what I like to call the back straightaway. After this left-right sequence, there's a long straight that you can really open it up on. If he gets 2 cars worth of slipstream, he can push to pass them both.
I think Robinson allows him on by. Very nice of him, very sporting. But here comes Nunez to the inside. Now outside, coming into the corner. He's going to try to sweep down, go to the low side. It's going to be on the outside, going through the carousel area. Now he's snuck to the inside. He's got position. Oh, whoa. How no one lost a wing in all that mess just says how good their skill is in these cars. And the fact that Netco did not take over.
It's just so hard to maintain speed when you're pinched down on rumble strips there, like McNeely for Nunez. And then Nunez tried to cross him back over on exit, but McNeely had his entry compromised from being pinched himself. So Nunez had to slam on the brakes instead of stomping on the gas to get off the corner to keep his his front wing attached to his race car.
Watching out the rear of McNeely.
And Nunez has done a better job of keeping these Waiulis alive. If I were McNeely, I'd be considering an alternative strategy. However, if you keep him in your mirror, it makes it harder for him to pass you by overcutting or undercutting. Try to pit on the same lap, and you're impeding his lap time, right?
Is it me or the front wings are scuffed on Nunez's car?
Take a gander. It is you. They are fine.
Okay.
There's a decal on the flared plane on the left and right that may look like scuffing, but it is a decal. It is intentional.
All right. So no damage. McNeely races for Jay Howard, former Indy 500 starter. And he is currently leading this race at lap 18. Now 19 of 53 here at Belle Isle. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already for the next race, which is next week. Championship Friday and Saturday of the VOR Iconic and IndyCar Championship. Go ahead, Clindy.
I was going to say, for those of you who may not be well-versed, starter means someone who raced, not the Grand Marshal who waved the green flag.
That's right.
Maybe competitor is a better word to use, so there's no distinction or confusion. And Nunez is there lap after lap. This next lap car is Lodato. And Lodato had better pace than those other two, but not by much with the damage he suffered. So
we all know Aaron Likens is the starter of the IndyCar Series. He's been on our broadcast before, but Jay Howard has 6 career attempts at Indianapolis, 3 career starts, with a best start of 20th twice and a best finish of 24th in his last start in 2018.
I think the leader's going to catch Lodato in the carousel this lap. It may be wise to just pull over on the backstretch.
Lodato, very savvy driver. You know him well from the Oval Series. He's among the top split drivers, or occasionally we see him in the top split. He's got some skill set to him.
Yeah, he hadn't been around much this fixed season. I think he ran a lot of open and some leagues. Yep, there he is. Classy guy.
Very
Lucas is
good.
A great driver. Anticipated that one. It's always cool to know, or to show that you know what you're talking about. Oh, Nunez scuffed up against the barrier there.
Yep. Lodato, part of that Nexus race team. They're a bunch of good bunch of guys. And next up for the leaders is Mark Murphy. There he is. And he goes to pit road. Oh, and he brings, and Nunez comes in with him.
That actually might be disastrous for Nunez.
That might not be good for Nunez, yeah.
If Nunez gets stuck behind Murphy on pit exit, like for even one corner, McNeely will not.
I think Murph missed his mark, so he had to roll back a little bit. So that might be enough of a edge. Julian on pit road as well. Bonder on pit road. Let's see if that's how he's going to pop out in relation to Murph. There is Murph coming as the red, white, and blue car. I think Murph allows him on by. Very nice. I think he checked up just a little bit.
All right, then we'll see if McNeely answers the call to head off.
McNeely now hit a mashing push to pass. Trying to maximize on this lap by himself as he kind of slides to that corner a little bit.
Nunez did go to the prime tire. I'd anticipate this prime stint to be the shortest.
The Waiuli
are very, very fast.
The Waiuli tire. And here comes our leader to pit road.
I think Nunez is well positioned here. I think he had a very good outlap.
And there he is. McNeely, our pole sitter, and pretty much led him all the laps so far on pit road. Down and away, and I think Nunez is going to get him, and there you go. Nunez on by. Oh, and McNeely spinning the wheels, trying to get those tires up at the speed there. Letting loose all that 700 horsepower onto the rear drivetrain, spinning those wheels, bringing them up to temperature. That might be the pass for the win.
It may be. Nunez undercut perfectly there. Even though Murphy was in his way, it didn't let him get rattled. He focused, he put his head down, he put down a screaming outlap. Four-second gap now when McNeely was ahead of Nunez prior to the stop.
Yeah, 4 seconds, and what was it? It was less than 3/10 for most of that run of a second. I mean, they were right there the whole time on each other's. You know, it was Nunez's nose on the rear attenuator of McNeely, and now after they come out of the pits on the first stop here, Nunez has a 4-second lead over McNeely. And we saw McNeely was really pushing that final lap. He was hitting the push to pass button.
I think his Waiulis were burned up, man. They were almost 3.5 seconds a lap slower than what they had been at the start of that run. And Nunez now really starting to walk away. He put another half second on McNeely that lap. Oh, McNeely in the wall!
That's what happened. And he lost at least the front wing plane.
And Mike Wayne Robinson had an issue with John Christensen on the backstretch at the exact same time. So McNeely now has a one-winged front car. So that will be a 5-second penalty, more or less, on his last stop, which will put him right into the clutches of Silvazzi if these gaps stay the same. With that wing missing, he will be a little slower than he was before. Silvazzi may be looking to move up to second by the end of this run.
Yeah, Silvazzi pitted on lap 20, so he came in a little bit early, and he's not that far behind, really. Well, when I say not that far behind, he is 4 seconds behind, but in relation to where 4 seconds is versus where the leaders are 10 seconds ahead of everyone else. So And McNeely,
McNeely
did come to
came
pit road. Yep, so he's going to go get that work done now.
Let me make sure no, he didn't have a meatball. Maybe he's trying to stretch it from the end from here and make his stop early. You'd have to go, again, that's that 27 lap number. Nobody's been old enough to go further than 20. He'd have 27 to do, so
I don't know. I don't think that's possible. So now we're watching the closest battle on the racetrack. There's actually two of them, Christensen and Lodato. I think Lodato got around Christensen. So Lodato now up to 8th.
Silvazzi's got Altena right near.
And yeah, the next closest battle on the racetrack is Silvazzi and Altena. Julian won on the road course at Road America on round 3 earlier this season. That was his last road course win. In fact, that was his only win of the season so far. Former series champion.
Oh no, Gary, we missed what happened to Liam O'Sullivan. Something happened to him on lap 19. This is disastrous for him. He just needed to survive. He pulled over and stopped on lap 18. I can't. Oh, what happened if he had damage from the wall and it broke his suspension? He towed back to pit road after stopping on track. He didn't tow, sorry, he got back going again. Pulled into the pits and hasn't moved.
Interesting. See if we can find something.
Well, Julian will podium, and he'll tell us all about it after the race.
I could probably go back and find it with. I could probably go back and find it in the old legacy overlay, but I cannot find it in the session events in ATVO. But
it was
yeah, that's
so
gonna
weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be big for the championship.
Yeah, Jesper Orman doesn't have to win next week. He probably just has to beat Liam by a handful of positions.
And I think the reason I'm not finding it in my session settings is because of the abnormal way we kind of came into this session.
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing everything.
So for you Liam O'Sullivan fans there at home, I know there are
the family's watching. Yeah.
Of you. Sorry we missed that, but I'm glad we could bring it to attention and I could at least verbally explain, even though it looked pretty unexplainable. It's almost as if his car came to a stop, like he had a stop and go penalty for cutting a corner, but he didn't cut a corner and he didn't hit the wall, at least on my screen. So
maybe a mechanical totally of some type?
Perhaps his screen monitor went off, and then while he stopped on tracks, another competitor hit him and gave him suspension damage. I think that's the most likely explanation I can come up with, but he's still on pit road now, almost 7 laps down. If he can get his car fixed, he could go back out and pass Lorenzo Bonder. That's at least one spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Bonder either, but Bonder is now shown out, classified in 14th. Well, with one pit stop done, Luis Nunez is your leader by a pretty commanding 12 seconds over Patrick Silvazzi. As Luis Nunez got really close to the exit of the wall there in 11. But Silvazzi is second, being dogged by Julian Altena in third. Liam McNeely, who was our early leader and pole sitter, currently fourth. But he had a moment where he lost the front wing. I believe going through, was it turn 3?
Yes, turn 3.
Turn 3, and so he had to make an extra stop, get the wing changed. He's back and forth. Hugo Gallas is fifth. Greg Forsyth 6th, Strauss is 7th. Ladato's moved up to 8th after having a little bit of a venturesome lap earlier in the race for him. Christensen 9th, Minnieworth in 10th, and Mark Murphy still chugging along in 11th.
He's up 4 spots, Gary. That's what matters most.
He has the second biggest gainer of the day. Biggest gainer of the day is Bennyworth, up 7.
I think he knew something. When he started on those primes and no one else did, I think he had a strategy. Because a lot of these drivers, when they put the primes on, they made a mistake. Like, that's what happened to McNeely. That's what happened to Bonder. They put on these primes. They just don't have the same fire-off grip as the Waiulis. And people were driving them with the same amount of intensity.
All right, so we have Liam is in the waiting room and said he could come up to give us a brief interview, so we'll bring him up real quick. And here he is, Liam O'Sullivan, out early today, or at least still on pit road getting repairs done. We noticed that you've got to pit road. We didn't see how you got there. What happened?
Well, weather's been bad here in Europe, and my power just went completely out. Like, I didn't have any control of my car, so obviously I just slammed it to a halt to be predictable. And I think Lorenzo just wasn't really expecting a car stopped on the racing line at that part of the track, and then went careening into the back of me, instant meatball. I had about 8 minutes of required repairs and things. I'm 10 laps down or whatever, and it's unfortunate because I could have made my championship a lot easier going into Vegas, but instead my Nashville, I think 21 points is going to come in, which means I'll have a 20-point lead over Jesper going into Vegas, which isn't the worst situation, but it's annoying at a track I was strong at. Me and Julian were running our own race there in 4th and 5th, had more in the tanks, both of us there. And yeah, we knew it was going to be a survival race, playing out that way, and yeah, no chance to even compete, which again is down to the weather we have here in the UK at the moment being less than ideal. But also, yeah, an issue I've never had before, which is something I hope I never see again.
Was it wind storms, Liam, or ice, or what's happening to affect the weather so badly in your area?
We've got massive wind over here at the moment. So that I'm assuming that's what's done it. But it was just all my lights flickered, my PC shut off, my TV went off, and yeah, nothing I could do about it.
Who else is going off is your boss, Julian. He just stuck it to the inside on Silvazzi there into turn 3. What a move.
Well, and the Christensen, unfortunately, what happens good for a VOR teammate happens bad for a VOR teammate, as he just lost his back wing. He's through the carousel right in front of the leader, almost spun out. He's trying to nurse that car home, so we got a lot of stuff going on the racetrack. Tough luck for you, but you're still driving to survive for the championship next week at Las Vegas. We will see you there, but sorry about your luck today.
Yep, thanks, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of the race.
We'll pick up a couple points, Liam. You're not out of it yet.
And he is back onto, yeah, Christensen goes ahead and toes. But that was right in front of the leader. So what's going on in Europe? It is Storm Darragh, Darragh. They name all their storms over in Europe, or at least the UK. And if you like airplanes, aerospace, that type of stuff like I do, of course, I like IndyCar racing. They got wings, but wings, these wings keep the cars on the ground, whereas the wings on airplanes help them fly. There are some plane spotting channels over in the UK, specifically Big Jet TV. And basically it's a guy that just watches takeoff and landings on camera at Heathrow Airport. And typically when they have big windstorms there at Heathrow, he'll flip on the camera and you can watch these planes crab in for miles and try to land straight on the runway. So you want to check out that channel after the race, Big Jet TV, where he has 2 videos up of big plane. We're talking Airbus 380s, 767s, Dreamliners, you name it, trying to land at Heathrow in this windstorm. So check that out after the race if you wish to see something a little interesting.
Anything else the viewers at home should check out after the race, Gary? Anybody paying the bills today?
Yeah, I think the big bill payer today is SK Graphix. You could get your livery and overlay needs from SK Graphic. They're sponsoring today's race. Don't have much to read on them, but I do know all their socials are in the description. So if you need a new livery, check them out. And this overlay that you see that we've been using all year long now since really May has been authored by them. So the professional overlay that we're running is from them, and they are the best at it. Check them out. Luis Nunez is your leader. He is now lapped up past Bennyworth, up to 7th now. Altena has pulled away from Silvazzi. Silvazzi has Lodato in front of him before he gets back up to Julian.
And barring any sort of catastrophe for Nunez, Altena has no chance of catching him.
Yeah, this race really is now in the hands of Nunez's to lose.
Well, if McNeely can find the same pace he had on the first stint, it is possible he could catch back up to Silvazzi and Altena before the end of the race.
Oh, wow. He has pace, but he keeps sliding the pace off.
Every time I talk about a VOR teammate, an Altena Autosport car, I talk about McNeely, they're spinning around, Lodato. I just gotta stop saying drivers' names.
It is the Clindy curse.
Do not have a IndyCar voodoo doll, I promise. If I did, it would be purple. So,
I think I know who you're speaking of. Let's shout out Hugo Gallas, though. Man, he's having himself a great race. Hugo started 6th, currently he's 5th. Been in the top 5 all day today. Hasn't really turned a wheel wrong. Of course, maybe we're going to get him the Godsoe curse right here. I hope not. This guy has really been developing his racecraft, getting better and better. Currently 5th here on the racetrack. We see him in many races all week long over in the VOR Series. We see him in the DW12 Iconic Series. We see him here in the IndyCar Championship. Now we're going to watch him on Mondays over in the ISRA Open Wheel Series, which you won the opening race on last Monday at Homestead Clindy. We're going to go to Las Vegas also. Big Las Vegas week next week. Las Vegas and ISRA, Las Vegas in VOR.
We're going to double down. I think I'm going to put it both on red. All on red, both times. We'll see how that goes.
Doubling down. And then tomorrow, we're going to have and I'll announce this now, is the Classic IndyCar Series. This is the IR05, IR09 series that has been running for 10 plus years. They've been around forever. They are one of the oldest leagues on this service. They run one of the more prestigious leagues on this service. They will be appearing on P1 with us. There'll be me and Andrew Wood will be bringing you the action for their winter series. They will have a race at Texas Motor Speedway, Legacy, Texas, and that will be tomorrow. More details on that will be on the channel over on P1, but check them out. But we welcome the Classic IndyCar Series. So thrilled to have them on the channel.
And that's right up your alley, Gary. You see you being like a kid in a candy store getting to call those races. Imagine all the throwbacks you'll get to see.
Yeah, those guys are pretty great. They've been running that series for a very long time. That's going to be our week next week. We got actually a pretty short week next week as we get closer to Christmas. We're getting more and more openings as more of the leagues are taking time off, and more of the leagues have completed their seasons by now, getting ready to restart back up in January. But next week really will be the Classic IndyCar Series on Sunday, ISRA on Monday, and then the VOR Championship weekend on Friday and Saturday on the 13th and 14th at Las Vegas. That's
no
really
IndyCar Oval fixed on Tuesday because it's our off week. It's week 14.
That's right. It is that special fun week where we get the update. And watching Hugo Gallas getting around his teammate, not for a position in the standings, just track position. Back
Ian
up.
has gotten very familiar with the concrete barriers. He's attacked them a couple of times. So.
I think if we're talking about Liam McNeely, I think he needs to change his sponsorship from Buc-ee's to something that's demolition related, because he is sure trying to knock down every wall he sees.
Maybe he could get like heavy machinery like Komatsu or Caterpillar. Or
Caterpillar, there you go. Cat. I think there has been a Cat sponsored IndyCar before in the past. I'll have to look that up.
I think Sakuma Sato had Komatsu on his car.
Yeah.
A couple of times. But yeah, Caterpillar from my hometown in Peoria, Illinois. So shout outs to them for sponsoring auto racing for a very long time. I know that they don't any longer, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I'm definitely a beggar. So
Forsyth making a pit stop and losing a position to Strauss, but currently 7th, but now has the leader right behind him. The Forsyth sporting the Waiuli tire. So the
he may be able to drive away from Nunez here on the Waiuli.
He might be able to if those tires could come up to temperature quickly. So Waiuli spelled G-U-A-Y-U-L-E. G-U-A-Y-U-L-E. So Guayul is actually, it's kind of how it looks, but Waiuli as it's spelled, with a no W or Y leading this entire word. But it is a eco-friendly tire made from the Waiuli plant that grows down in Mexico. And IndyCar uses it in real IndyCar racing in the NTT IndyCar Series. Forsyth trying to get around a little bit slower Strauss in front of him. But here comes Nunez to the inside of Forsyth, and he gets the track position, putting Forsyth a lap down now.
Just temporarily. Nunez will be
Yeah.
in the pits soon enough.
Yep.
Oh, what a save from Forsyth!
Yes, what a big save. And then Strauss just going to allow
Strauss
Lewis
and
on
Forsyth
by.
are racing for position.
They
that's,
are.
That's why.
But
that's why they were
Strauss
so tough
needs
on
to
Nunez.
stop here. Strauss has 16 laps to do his stint. Craig had to
Forsyth
cut the
doesn't
pit road earlier, yeah.
Again, the downfall of having to run an extra lap at the beginning of the race. Snowballing compounding effects here on Forsyth's day.
But the tire selection in the real NTT IndyCar Series for street courses is it used to be they run the red tires, the alternate tires, and here comes our leader to pit road. Now for street courses, they run the Waiuli. And that is the alternate tire for the street course. For permanent road courses, that is when they go to the Firestone Reds.
Such as Laguna Seca, Road America.
Barber, Mid-Ohio,
Barber.
yep.
Yeah.
Leader on pit road. And down and away.
Do you think IndyCar will ever go back to Road Atlanta, or ever will go to Road Atlanta?
The closest McNeely coming out around, Lewis coming out around McNeely. They're racing down into 3. Who's going to give in? It's probably behoove Nunez just to let him go.
Yeah, I mean, McNeely's got good pace. Nunez had a 16-second lead on Altena before the stops. We'll probably just slot in here until McNeely pits in, 5 to 6 laps, because this stint has been shorter for him because he pit after he got that wing damage early.
Yeah.
After his first stop.
So IndyCar has never been to Road Atlanta officially. There might have been testing there before. I'm sure there has been. The closest IndyCar has ever been there was Indy Lights. I believe the Atlantic Series went there as well. And I think, I have to go back and look. Maybe Townsend Bell has a win there in the Atlantics.
I trust you more than I trust myself. Oh, look at the team sport that McNeely's being. Pulling over for Nunez, giving him clean track. And letting Altena lead some laps. Or a lap. He pit this lap as well.
Yeah, Indy Lights in 2001.
Got that Townsend Bell fact just at your fingertips.
It's just from previous memory of doing races there, and everyone always asks, has IndyCar ever been here? I'm like, no, I don't think it has. Let's see. Townsend Bell won the pole, and Dan Weldon won the race. Townsend Bell led the most laps, though. But 2001, yeah, that was kind of that was Townsend Bell's year. I think he won the series championship that year. Yeah, he did. But it was Weldon, Bell, Damian Faulkner. That's a name we haven't heard in a while. And John Fogerty was in 5th. Mario Dominguez, there's a name that we've heard from IndyCar Racing before, finished 4th. But that was your top 5. Weldon, Bell, Faulkner, Dominguez, and Fogerty when Indy Lights ran at Road Atlanta. I would like to see them go there. I don't know how well that track is set up, though, safety-wise for the open-wheelers. I would think it's probably set up pretty good.
Hitting again. Oh, no. He lost his wing again on cold
McNeely?
tires. Yeah, just got to clean it up, buddy. Running a little too hard for what you got. Stick with the car.
Here it is. Here's what happens here. He is coming off the long straight and just spins right before go. Oh, and it is such a slight hit that clips it. But he right before he gets into the carousel area, he clips it, and that's
something has also happened to Silvazzi because Forsyth is now in a podium position.
Silvazzi on pit road. Let's see what happened to him. He's been on pit road for a while. Okay, here's what happens. Oh, he's same thing in the carousel area. Smacks the wall, hit the inside tire bear or rumble strip, and then bounces off it and goes into the wall. So that moves Julian now up to 2nd, Forsyth into 3rd, McNeely back to 4th, who had to just stop for a new wing, but he's good to go to the end. Lodato 5th, Strauss 6th, Bennyworth 7th, and guess who's in 8th?
Mark Murphy!
Mark Murphy walking his way into a top 10 finish. That's all you need to do. Mike Wayne Robinson 9th, Dan Edge 10th. Silvazzi still certainly sitting on pit road. I think he just withdrew. Nope, he withdrew, then got back into his car, I think. He's still getting work done on pit road. Gallas, unfortunately, we did jinx him. He is now on pit road. He's currently in 12th getting repairs done. And Christensen still on pit road for about 8 minutes now, getting work done. So not a good day for the VOR team proper, as Gallas, Christensen, and O'Sullivan are out. But Julian carrying the flag, who's currently in 2nd, and he was not very happy with the way his car was behaving in practice.
I mean, he's got 40 seconds over Craig Forsyth. He can be as unhappy as he wants, and he's going to come home 2nd, so long as he doesn't overdrive it. Forsyth and McNeely's going to get spicy here. McNeely's reeled him back in a hurry.
We'll get to that battle right now. And you got Mark Murphy there, too. So Mark's going to get out of the way. Ooh, Mark gave him room. It was just a bad spot. McNeely took it full send on the outside and might have kissed the wall.
No harm, no foul there.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything Mark did wrong. Mark did that right.
just unfortunate timing because he had pulled over for Forsyth and then he was still stopped by the time McNeely got there. And I think McNeely thought he would have been rolling with a little more speed and then had to make a late adjustment.
Let's go through the field a little bit more. Back to Lodato, who's had himself a rough race, but he is up 2 spots now from where he
how
started.
rough can it be when you got a top 5 and you've moved up 2 spots?
Right.
One little spin is nothing to write home about when you're going to come home positive on the day.
And Strauss is in 6th now. Pennyworth 7th. Murph is in 8th.
There.
We'll get back to that battle right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Mark was sliding there. Okay, let's get back to Nick Neely. There he is. Let's get the graphic off the screen and watch this battle as it unfolds.
I mean, 10 laps on these older Waiulis for Forsyth will be a huge challenge if you can keep McNeely behind him.
Well, they said the lap... whoa, okay, that was not a good series of turns there for McNeely, but he's going to get a lot of momentum now. They're both on push to pass. I've been hearing about 9 laps. 10 laps is about the length of the Waiuli tire for its good period, so he's maybe at the end of that right now. He's on 8 laps.
Forsyth got there first, yeah. 5 laps older than McNeely's, so Craig might be able to stalk Liam a little bit here and maybe
goad him into a mistake, yeah.
Focus forward, but I think that's podium hopes dashed for Craig Forsyth.
Seb Kender in chat, press F for Pat. Yeah. Yeah, Patrick, F has been pressed.
I'm really surprised Liam O'Sullivan hasn't gotten back on track. He could have picked up 2 spots, and those are all points that would make next week easier for him. He said he had 8 minutes are required, but I don't know. I just got to think big picture, right? That's what I would do if I were there.
Every little bit counts in a championship this close. Top 4 on the lead lap now. It's Nunez, Altena, McNeely on push to pass. Forsyth is in 4th. Lodato in 5th, 1 lap down. McNeely getting close, really close to the wall there.
I mean, he's tried every way to throw away this podium. So, I mean, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the show, really.
Yeah, I think he should probably look at that Komatsu sponsorship. Because he's moved the walls, definitely, for sure, around this place.
And the Buc-ee's logo is a beaver, right? Beavers like to chew down trees. That's destructive, in a way. I'm not going to tell anyone who they should or shouldn't put on their car, but it is funny.
I'm just disappointed we don't have a Buc-ee's yet here in Indiana.
Hey, man, you can make the drive over to Pontiac, Illinois, and go to Wally's, the knockoff Buc-ee's of the North. I think the closest Buc-ee's might be south of Indiana and Kentucky. Louisville?
Other side of Louisville, I think, on as I-65 goes south. We'll ask ChatGPT where the closest Buc-ee's is to where I live.
I bet you Google will give you a more accurate answer.
Yeah, about 3.5 hour drive southeast. But they are expanding to just outside of Dayton. That's out 2 hours away, so that's going to be even closer.
Do that and go see the Air Force Museum or the Airplane Museum.
Oh, we've been there. That's very cool. That's very cool. You can see the old Air Force One there. One of the old space shuttles. Yeah.
Ooh, Altena just obliterated the wall before the carousel. He may have suspension damage. He's very slow.
Ooh, yeah, he did. He right where that wall kicks out.
I think he's okay. I think he has toe damage, but no meatball.
We'll see. Let's ride with him. See how the car tracks. It looks like it's tracking straight.
His left front looks bent into me real bad.
Does it? Okay. 48 of 53, so just a handful of laps to go.
Yeah, you can nurse at home 5 laps here. You give up 10 seconds a lap and still finish ahead of McNeely, probably.
Julian looking at a much improved weekend versus the last couple of weekends for him. Had a great race at Michigan on the oval in the Iconic Series, and then he's looking like another solid effort here in the IndyCar Championship. A setup for a final battle to the crown at Las Vegas here coming up next week, right here on the VOR channel, 3 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Ryan Erik King, will bring you the final race of the Season 12 Championship. And then Clindy will be in that race for us. We'll be watching him.
A bunch of podiums for Julian this week, because he finished second behind me at Arissa on Monday.
On the ISRA, yep, at Homestead. 49 of 53 in the books. Here is the upcoming Season 13 schedule. We'll bring that up on your screen. The season will kick off January 11th at Texas, then go to Watkins Glen, and then Milwaukee, then Iowa, then Montreal. That's going to round out February. And then in March, we will start our month of May, so to speak, at Indianapolis, qualifying for the 500, and then the 500-mile race, the 13th edition of it here in VOR on March 15th. Nashville Super Speedway, Long Beach, Homestead, and Auto Club to round out the season May 3rd. That is lucky number Season 13 of the VOR IndyCar Championship. Here is the Iconic schedule. They will start up January 10th, and it'll be me and Clindy on the call of all those races. And currently, the sprint schedule they're in the middle of their current sprint season right now. There it is. Their next race is the 12th in Monza. And this guy right here, Michael Rain Robinson, will get his car on the... He will be the voice of that series right here on the VOR channel. That's their next race in Monza on the 12th. After today for the VOR series, it will be just Las Vegas, and we're going to decide a champion. But we are just a couple of laps away from Luis Nunez getting his first win here in the series. Another first-time winner.
In dominant fashion at that. Stalked his prey calmly in the first stint, did a little bit of an undercut, and has walked away ever since then. I'm convinced Julian has suspension damage on the left front, or at least toe damage, because he hasn't run faster than a 1:16.8 since he clobbered the wall. It's like 2 seconds off the relative pace of the cars around him.
Lewis looking to be the 37th different winner over the history of the VOR IndyCar Championship. Getting around Dan Inch.
We've got 3 laps to go here, but there is a bit of a battle brewing between Strauss and Bennyworth for the last spot in the top 5, as both of these drivers have worked their way by Lucas Lodato.
They have lap traffic in front of that. Robinson, he's getting out of the way. Also for Julian.
I think that'll let Strauss walk away with it. Pennyworth just could not get around Mike Wayne Robinson fast enough. Oh, and I shouldn't have said his name. He's in the wall. Mike Wayne will bring it home clean and green from here, I hope. Not too far to go, just a couple more laps.
And down the long stretch for the next to last time, down the back stretch here for Luis Nunez, coming into the carousel for the next to last time. Looking at a white flag next time by.
Gotta warm you up to saying penultimate, Gary.
One of my broadcast peers loves that word.
Penultimate corner.
Here we look, white flag in the air, final lap. 2.35 miles left remaining here for Luis Nunez, getting his maiden win in the series.
About 2 more miles, he'll have it. Clean and green, buddy, bring it home.
No close battles on the racetrack. We will watch him bring this home as he goes through 2, 3, and 4, and the 5 and 6. He's led 30 of 53 today. He'll lead 31 of 53 once he gets to the start-finish line for the checkered flag. Joining a list of community greats is known as Alex Van de Sand, Jesper Orman, Bruno Miranda, Isaac Morris, Craig Forsyth, Mark Murphy, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Nick Sudik, Gavin Sanders. Well, just add the name Luis Nunez to the list. Another winner, 37th different winner in VOR IndyCar history.
13 seasons, 37 winners. That's some elite racing going on.
I'm on that list. You can call me elite. Here comes Julian. Julian's got himself 11 wins in this series. Overall, 4th all-time. And a very surprising and probably a very welcome P2 here today for who might be the points leader. I think it's still going to be possibly Liam, as they'll add up points here. And here comes McNeely. First podium for him. Brings it home in quite the interesting race. He stops it immediately and punches out. He's probably not very happy about that whole race.
Yeah, he was driving like he was seeing red the entire time. Time to go shut his eyes, calm down. Maybe he's just getting ready for the interview booth. You know, grab a cold drink, pull off, get ready to say some sponsor-friendly things.
And here you go, Luis Nunez with the win. Julian second, Liam third, Craig Forsyth. A top 5 for Craig. You know, it's almost worth bringing him up from considering where he started today and how he finished today. That might as well be a podium.
Pretty much was. He and Pennyworth just stuck at it. They did not quit. Lap after lap, picked up another spot, another spot, another spot. Forsyth made very few mistakes today, and 5 drivers in front of him did, right? He just was there to capitalize.
Yeah.
Same as Mark Murphy, right? Started 15th, ended 8th. That's 7 spots he picked up just by running around the track, not hitting anything.
Yeah, we got Strauss in 5th, Pennyworth up 12 spots to 6th, Lodato 7th. Lodato also probably had a good race today, despite kind of where he put himself early in the race.
I think if you would have told him he was going to finish 7th after spinning on lap 3 or whatever, he would have been like, great, I'll take it.
Yeah. Murph at 8th, Mike Lane Robinson 9th, and Inch brings it home in 10th just by surviving. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Silvazzi looking to capitalize in the points, was doing good early on, looking at another podium. He's kind of been on a run of podiums or near podiums towards the end of the season, but not today. As mentioned in chat, F for him for something. We didn't see exactly what happened, but yeah, we did. He hit the curb in there in the carousel and smacked the wall. 11th, Gallus, we jinxed him. We did it. 12th, John Christensen 13th, Bonder 14th, Liam O'Sullivan 15th, Molina 16th, Griffin Yellen 17th, and Seb Kinder 18th. I think that's our field right there. 18 cars.
Yeah, some weather difficulties, technical difficulties, race control difficulties, but we got the race in, we crowned the deserving winner. That's how you do, you persevere. That's what racing's all about, right? Making lemonade out of lemons.
Right. So what I'm going to do here is, since I have to bring up the native overlay so I can bring up some laps here. I'll just give the fast lap for McNeely as his replay lap. There we go. And get that off. Normally I have a session events that I could do that without having to bring in the overlay, the native overlay. But because we started this kind of abnormally, all those events, everything I would normally go to and replay just not showing up. And let's get the track map off there too. There we go.
Julian's the only one who wants to talk to us. No one
I
else
think
can
so.
wait
I mean, I don't know if the other guys don't know, or
I could
or
understand
maybe there might be a language barrier there too. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm happy to speak in very broken, very poor Spanish to Mr. Nunez.
We'll go ahead and bring Julian up since he's here waiting for us. And we will get him to talk about his race. And if there's Nunez, Lewis, he will talk after Julian. If we get McNeely in here as well, we'll talk with him. But first, we'll bring up Julian. Here he is. Welcome to second place in the podium here, Julian. A bit of a surprising finish. I think you were not happy with how the car was reacting during qualifications and practice, but put it together for 53 laps, or let's call it 51 laps here with the way the session started, to get a podium, a badly needed podium for this championship going to the last race here at Las Vegas here a week from now.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise, to be honest. In a sense, as a driver, I regret bringing Luis into the series. But this race was just incredibly difficult, and Luis drove one hell of a race, just amazing pace. You know, he shows why he has that platinum black or whatever license he has on the sim for the pros. So you know, he did a great race, and he deserved it completely. I'm a bit sad actually that I missed out on the fastest lap. I did feel like I had a pretty good lap in there. And if I go back to my results now as well, my fastest lap was only like half a tenth off Luis's. And Liam McNeely beat my lap by like a tenth of a second. So, you know, it is what it is. Just missed out on that bonus point. But I still got one for leading a lap, which is, I guess, good for the championship. I'm not sure what exactly the gaps are. I can update the standings whilst I do my interview. But yeah, the start of the race was not what it was supposed to be. So as the league owner, I have to apologize to the viewers and all the drivers. Just my mind's not been on hosting a session. Let's just keep it at that for a couple of weeks. And I did set it up, and I then had a funny acting mouse, which DQ'd Liam from the entire session. And I couldn't undo it. So I tried to clear the black flags, but I want to clarify, it was my mouse just randomly clicking when I wasn't even touching the mouse. So that's why we had to restart the session, and then the session settings were wrong, and it was just a mess. So yeah, I want to thank everyone who cooperated in getting the race started anyway. Completely my fault, because I've known for a while that I need to get a new mouse. So, you know, it's my fault completely. but was still a solid race, I guess. Normally you save the fuel a lot in these kinds of races, and you didn't really have that here. So it was a completely different race. People are naturally pushing a lot harder, and that causes people to make mistakes more often too, which is why we ended up with only 4 cars on the lead lap. But that's just the way the game goes sometimes, and I guess I'm happy for second place. I'm really bummed for Liam, because he should have been up there on the podium with me after Patrick and Liam McNeely made mistakes by speeding in the pits or whatever they did. So really unfortunate for Liam, but his PC went black for a little while, and there's just no coming back from that once you get in the wall or something similar. Really unfortunate for him, but I guess it puts me in the mix as well a little bit. If my PC can actually load the file in SimRace Wrap, that would be really nice.
We're refreshing the page and waiting for you to update that. Any questions, Clindy? If you don't, I have a follow-up, but go right ahead.
Just one. We had thought maybe someone would try to stretch to 27 laps on fuel, considering the pace or parade laps to start the race. How much of a save would that have been? Was it actually impossible? That's what Gary and I concluded. But being so slow that it's basically worthless is just as bad as impossible. I just want to get your take, because I didn't have any time to do practice.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. It would have been useless. It was just too slow. If you wanted to make 27 laps, I think you would have had to save. Well, in terms of lap times, what it's worth anyway, it would have been at least a second, maybe 2. So you would just lose too much time. So yeah, I never even considered it. It's now that you bring it up, but the save would have been too big anyway. I just know it. But yeah, Gary, to talk about the standings, Liam leads it by 5 over Jesper.
Yep.
I'm 25 back, so it will be decided between the 3 of us. But I doubt I'll have a shot, to be honest.
Yeah, and you'll need some mathematics to happen for you for that to happen. Go ahead, Clindy.
I'll finish ahead of Jesper and Liam next week at Vegas, so you can count on me, buddy. All you got to do is beat me.
If you could just be between us and all that, and I win the race, that would also be a welcome result. Hey, real quick, we saw you kind of right before you kind of got into that. I call it the carousel area. It's the kind of those series of left-handers right before the final set of turns coming onto the main straight. You kind of clipped the wall. There's a part of the wall that kind of sticks out, and you kind of clipped it a little bit. Did that damage you? Did you feel that? Did you even know you hit it? Can you talk about that? I don't know which one you're talking about. I hit the wall multiple times, so it could have been any one of them.
Go, like right after you had passed Bennyworth and them.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, no,
did you get left front suspension damage? It looked like your tire was towed into me, and then you didn't run faster than a 116.
My front wing was damaged for sure. I'm not sure about the suspension. It didn't feel all that bad considering the wing damage, so I don't know, but it was definitely off the pace. But speaking of, by the way, whilst I was in clean air, I did find out a better line for turn 4. Which I will turn 5, sorry, which I'll take into whatever Detroit races I do next time. I always thought that a wide line really works, but there's a lot of grip on the inside, so I'll be using that line from now on. All right. Well, not only did he get the podium for today, but scouting for the next time he races at Detroit. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. I know you got them. They got some people here that help put this thing on, so go right ahead with your shout outs. Yeah, Chevy Power is the GOAT, best push-to-pass system in the game. I want to thank everyone who came out today, as I already did. And once again, I do apologize for the mix-up at the start. But thanks to you guys, and also Cal for stepping in. I don't know how useful Mark was up there whilst he was trying to sweat and keep his car on the track. But in case he added anything, thanks to him as well. I'm sure it's fun to listen back to if he did. Want to thank Alex Boney from IFS Personal Financial Planning, Gary Lovren from Lovren's Incorporated, and his family behind the business. Want to thank Andrew for developing the overlay and finally getting the manufacturers working. Thank you, after 7 months. Check out SKS Graphix as well, the race sponsor. It's his company, his little thing. He develops all kinds of overlays and graphics. And if you like what you see, just contact him for a quote or whatever. I'm not sure how he does the business, but that's up to him.
Yeah, I believe that's everything. Just the team in general, also my girlfriend downstairs. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but hopefully things will get better from now. And I'm excited for Vegas as well next week.
All right. Well, congrats. We'll let you go. But yeah, the points situation, as you mentioned, it's going to come down to 3. It's Liam is your leader by 5 over Jesper. Then Jesper has a 20-point lead over Julian. Julian 25 up to the leader. So first and third separated by 25 points. Mark, the best Mark can do, unfortunately, we'll unmute Mark here. Best Mark can do is P4 in the championship. But he'll be in a battle with Craig Forsyth, who is currently now 5th. So that is your top 5 after today's race. Julian, we will see you in a week at Las Vegas.
Absolutely. And before you talk to Mark, by the way, because I know he's going to say something about the points, just a reminder for everyone, the last race of the season, the championship finale, cannot be dropped. I said this yesterday, just so everyone is aware of it. Okay. Don't be confused. The last race cannot be dropped. So whatever we have now in terms of standings is straight up.
So there's 2 races that actually can't be dropped. Indianapolis is one of them, right?
That's for next season.
Oh, that's for next season. Okay, so this season is just the final race of this season. Gotcha.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we are clear on that. All right, well, we will catch you at the next one.
See you guys. Have a good evening.
See ya. And let's bring up Luis Nunez, as Mark's been unmuted. So, Mark, there you go.
Hi, Gary.
Real quick on you. 8th place today, not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, the Indy Alliance Honda ran pretty good. I am the world's worst road racer, Gary, as you know. I wanted to thank you and Clindy for allowing me to be a silent observer in the broadcast. Thankfully, my mic was not muted, or my mic was muted for lap 28 when I overcooked the entry to the hairpin at the back into the backstretch and went flying across the curbs and broke my rear wing. So hopefully none of the viewers saw that, because that was wild. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said for keeping it on the island and driving within yourself. And, it's a shame I had to miss some races earlier this year. We could have been, I had to miss a couple of ovals, or we could have been right up there with the points leaders. But, Jesper and Seb will be back for Vegas. And we've got Clindy up there. So, I'm really looking forward to that. And, I think we've got a pretty good cushion back to Craig, I would think. Julian's going to have a lot of trouble. I think as long as he starts Vegas, he's going to finish.
Yeah, you're 405 in terms of points, 405 points, and then Craig is 364.
Yeah, so, as long as we start and have a decent oval run for us, we'll be in pretty good shape. But this is such a fun series, and I have a good time running it. And I can't wait for round 1 of, what is it, season 14, Gary?
13, lucky number 13.
Lucky 13. So I think I won season 10? Or 11?
I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and look and see.
It's like season 10 or 11.
Is it the one that wasn't broadcast?
Yeah, it was the one that wasn't broadcast. So if I can win lucky 13, that'll go well with the number on the race car, and we'll keep on chugging, man. It was a blast listening to you guys do the race. And Clindy, we need to have a match race, you and I, here, just to see who can be the first one to land it on the hydroplane course outside in the Detroit River.
It'll be me. Absolutely. I'm worse than you, Murph. You say you're the worst. You've raced against me. You know how bad I am.
I doubt that, man. You guys have a good one, though, okay? Good luck.
Yeah, we'll pull our winner up.
Yeah. And we'll there he goes. Luis Nunez. Luis Nunez, congratulations, sir, the 37th different winner here in the VOR IndyCar Championship. Talk about your race. You were just by far and away on a pace that nobody else could touch today.
Yeah, I mean, I put myself a bit on a trouble in the quali because I wasn't able to do my second lap. So yeah, I just lost the pole by, I think it was like 500s against Liam. And yeah, it took me a bit to pass him. Quite a bit.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a good race overall.
Go ahead, Clindy, if you got any questions for him.
Yeah, I loved how you ran that first run, managing and reeling back in Liam. I think you could tell that you were faster than him after the first couple of laps. And is that when you decided to undercut? Your undercut was flawless. You beat him out through the pits by almost 4 seconds. How did you find that much pace on cold tires?
I don't know. I think it was more on Liam's fault than me actually. I mean, my outlet was pretty good. I was so careful with the tires to not spin or hit the wall or whatever. But I mean, 4 seconds was quite a lot. So I think it was good from my side, and maybe he did a mistake as well. I'm not sure, but might be both, to be honest.
And we watched his lap. He spun the tires pretty bad coming out of the pits, but everything else seemed to be okay. I think maybe just staying that one lap longer on those roasted Waiulis cost him a lot of time. So good call, jumping into pit road right behind Mark Murphy there, so that way he couldn't follow you in his mirror. And well-deserved win. You had a lot of pace today. Any sponsors, friends, family, or shout-outs you want to give while you have the mic? You've earned it.
Oh yeah, thanks to my new team, Fires Forward, that I've joined this week. So yeah, looks like such a nice project. And yeah, thank you to to my parents, I guess. Not nice to say.
Yeah, you got to
Maybe to my
give
teammates,
you got to give thanks to your
Christian.
parents. That's for sure.
I'm gonna be here without them. So
for sure. And
and
of course, if you had a wife or a girlfriend or a significant other, yeah, you got to thank them too. Allowing you to play with us on a Saturday afternoon is always big.
yeah, and also thanks to my teammates, Kevin Burrell, Christian and Sam, and also the owner of Fires Ali. So thanks to all of them. And yeah, that's it. I'm waiting for the next one.
First win with the new team. Well, that's a great way to start it off. We'll catch you hopefully at Vegas, and will we see you in more races for season 13 when season 13 starts here?
Yeah, I've planned to drive the whole next season. I think it's starting 11th January.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mostly like road tracks, but yeah, I will try to drive the whole season. Even ovals.
I think you'll do all right on ovals. And I always say the cream rises to the top. If you're a good driver, you'll find your way to the front on ovals. Well, congratulations on the win today. First win in the series. Congratulations. Welcome to the fraternity. It's good to have you as a fellow winner. And we'll catch you at the next race at Vegas next week.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your hard work. And
No
everything.
problem. It's our
Thank you.
pleasure. Thanks a lot.
See ya.
All right. 31 laps led today. Pretty much dominated today, Luis Nunez did. And the race itself had its exciting moments, but really, I think it's the most exciting moments is the way that the points really were impacted. Jesper didn't even start, and really, he didn't lose that much ground in the championship because of his chief rival, who was racing, had a bad day. And it just made things get tighter at the top because the other driver involved in the championship had a good day right when he needed one.
Yeah, let's those puzzle pieces be laid out so we're only missing just the center picture next week at Vegas. We'll see who decides to say hit me and who says to stand on their 20, and we'll see who gets the payout.
Yeah, double down next week, and you'll be in that race. Your thoughts on Vegas? You always I know you always kind of consider Vegas, especially we think it's going to be a night race, probably going to be a pack race. I
think ISRA is going to be at night. I think VOR is going to be in the daytime.
Okay,
So
that might separate things a little bit.
the hotter it is, the better I expect to do. So,
Well, what's the main difference between the two other than being the pack race? What makes a day race preferable for you?
I'm really good at going fast while I'm going slow, and I'm really bad at going fast. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, fair enough. Let's look at the upcoming schedule then. Again, if anybody does want to participate in the VOR IndyCar Championship coming up for next season, here is the season 13 schedule once again. We do start January 11th for round one, and to be a part of that, this is a paid series. You need to pay your entry fee and also join the Discord server. Links are in the description, and you too can find yourself as a member of the starting lineup for the VOR IndyCar Championship, or if you like, you could join Season 5 of the VOR Iconic Series, which drives the DW12, and that is actually a free series because the car is free with the service, and all you need to do is have the tracks and a desire. Again, join the Discord, and you too can be part of the roster for the DW12 series. So check that out. And of course, let's not forget about the Sprint series. The Sprint schedule has 2 more races left, starting on the 12th at Monza and the 19th at Interlagos. To learn more about the Sprint series, also they drive the R13. Join the Discord server, and you can learn more about the Sprint series. They run Thursdays. You're on the Velocity Online Racing channel on YouTube. So there you have it. Let's remind you of the top 5 now in the points. It is, and Mark Murphy won Season 9, by the way. But remind you of the points before we go to our final race at Las Wages. And that is standings here. There we go. As Sullivan is your leader going into the final race. Jesper Orman second, Julian Altena third. So those are your top 3 who are mathematically going to be eligible for the championship. Mark Murphy is 4th, Craig Forsyth 5th, Salvazzi is 6th, Strauss 7th, Seb Kinder 8th, Seb Alexander 9th, and Gary Lovern is 10th. A number of these guys, especially in the lower portion of the top 10, Kinder, Alexander, Lovern, and Ike, who's at 11th, did not show up today. So they could have made up some ground, but unfortunately they're going to be got a little bit tougher road ahead of them because they will be unable to drop next week's race. The final race of the season you cannot drop, according to Julian. So that is the top 11 going into the final race next week for Las Vegas. Let's get on out of here and give everyone back their Sunday, excuse me. That's tomorrow. Give everyone back their Saturday afternoons. And get to the final script here, and we'll get on out of here. That's it for today. Once again, your podium here from Belle Isle for the Detroit Grand Prix. Luis Nunez with his maiden win in this series. Julian Altena, yet another podium in a time where he needed it the most. And Liam McNeely. And I don't think he ever showed up. Nope, I don't see him. So unfortunately, no words from Liam. But maybe next time. But he gets his first podium.
He left it all out on the track for us.
He did. He gets his first podium in the series. He finishes 3rd. So join Ryan, Erik, King, and myself again next week for Championship Saturday of round 14 of Season 12 of the VOR IndyCar Championship as the teams and drivers head to Las Vegas, and we're going to crown a champion one way or another. Coverage will return to starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 3:00 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything here on YouTube at youtube.com. Just search Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help us support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you have thought of today's race. If you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including action from what we mentioned, their IR18 Sprint and DW12 Iconic Series. Today's Detroit Grand Prix is brought to you by SKS Graphix. Check out SKS Graphix for your livery and graphic overlay needs. Links to SKS are in the description. Want to thank them for their sponsorship. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about Velocity Online Racing and what they do, visit velocityonlineracing.com. Like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. So for Ryan, Erik, King, who is, can we say he's vacationing? He's got a work vacation, I'm sure, over in Abu Dhabi. He'll be back with us next week. But Clinty, who so graciously filled in for today, and everyone else at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Godsoe saying all happy Saturday, and thanks for watching. And on all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Las Vegas for the next race of the championship race of the VOR IndyCar Championship. See ya, and happy holidays.